I thought waking up alone in a Chicago hotel room was the lowest point of my year, until I found out who I'd actually spent the night with. 6 months into my position at one of the city's top investment firms, I was finally given the opportunity to present our highest performing fund to major investors. It was the kind of chance people wait years for. But during the pitch, I forgot to mention a crucial tax advantage. The moment the words slipped away, I felt the temperature in the room drop. "I expected more from you, Deborah," my boss said later, his disappointment sharp. "Opportunities like this don't come around every day." Back in my hotel room, I collapsed on the bed, the pressure of months of late nights and endless revisions crashing down all at once. It felt like all my work had vanished with one misstep. But then, I remembered something my father once said: "One mistake doesn't define you." I stood, washed off the day's failure, and slipped into my favorite black dress. If nothing else, I would end the day with dignity. At the hotel bar, a cosmopolitan in hand, I found solace in the low hum of conversation and clinking glasses. That's when she approached me. "Mind if I join you?" she asked. Her voice was calm, self-assured, and tinged with exhaustion. She wore elegance like a second skin. "Sure," I said, surprising myself with how quickly I welcomed the company. What followed was hours of unfiltered conversation about work, about expectations, about how hard it was to be a woman trying to prove herself in a world that rarely made space. She listened with an attentiveness that felt rare, even sacred. When I suggested we go upstairs, she hesitated only a moment before nodding. The night was more than passion. It was connection. I felt seen, desired, and completely understood. But the next morning, she was gone. No note, no number, just her scent fading into the sheets. I flew home, unsure whether I had dreamed the whole thing. Back at the office, my boss acknowledged my performance and even praised my resilience, but all I could think about was her. I had no name, no way to find her. For months, I told myself it was a beautiful one-night mystery, something to keep tucked away in memory. Then, the company holiday party arrived. I walked in, proud of my recent promotion, ready to celebrate. And that's when I saw her, walking in beside my boss. My heart stalled. Everything from that night rushed back in sharp, vivid detail. "This is Deborah," my boss said proudly, "our top hire of the year." She looked at me, her expression unreadable. "Nice to meet you, Deborah," she said with practiced calm. "Likewise," I murmured. I stared at her, confused. "I'm a partner in the holding company that owns this firm," she said quietly. "The next morning, I got a talent report. Your face was on it." I froze. "That's why you vanished," I whispered. "That's why I ran," she corrected. "I couldn't risk hurting your career because of one impulsive night." Just then, my boss returned. "Already getting to know each other? Good. Marina, Deborah's results this year have been outstanding." Marina. Finally a name. The rest of the party was unbearable. I watched her float through the room, graceful and polished, every bit the powerful executive I should have realized she was, and I couldn't stop looking. Near the end of the night, my boss returned. "Marina would like to speak with you privately about some upcoming projects." I found her alone in his office, looking both composed and vulnerable. "You have to understand," she said. "I've never mixed business with anything personal. Never." "Then what was that night?" I asked. "It was the most transformative moment I've had in years," she admitted. "Then why now?" I asked. She hesitated. "My husband, he's CEO of a major East Coast firm, but we're announcing our divorce in 3 weeks. The papers are already signed. That night with you made me realize how empty everything else had become. Before I could respond, footsteps echoed in the hallway. "Think about what I said," she whispered, just as my boss opened the door. "Marina, your driver's waiting." "Perfect," she said, turning back to me. "Deborah, it was a pleasure meeting you, officially. I hope our paths cross again." After she left, I remained in the quiet office, the city lights glittering through the window behind me. 3 weeks. It wasn't just about a night in Chicago anymore. It was about whether that fleeting moment of magic could be the beginning of something real. And this time, I wasn't going to let it slip away.